Hello everyone, many blessings. This is a video that I have wanted to do for a long time. It is from a vision that I had in 2004, and I have talked about this before on my YouTube, on my Facebook Lives, in my Patreon. I have not dove in as much as I did this morning out on Gaia to get more information on this vision. So I'm going to share the vision because the vision was a 20-year countdown. The vision started out, I was in my bed. I had little children then, a 3-year-old, one just turned 3 years old. This was December 26th, 2004 this happened. And my little ones ran into the room to wake us up because they wanted to play on their Wii. They had just gotten it for Christmas the day before. And so because I had been up the previous nights doing all the stuff, preparing for Christmas, everything, my husband at the time had let me stay in bed to sleep a little longer, and he went out with them. But I wasn't able to go back to sleep. Instead, my third eye just opened up and I had this vision. And I'm going to date myself here a little bit. So for some of you, you may remember the countdown either at the movies or in school when we would see certain movies in school where the projector would go tick, 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 and you would see 20, 19, 18, 17, like that. So that's what I saw. I can hear the ticking and I can see the countdown. And when it got to after 1, it literally opened up. And when it opened up to show me this beautiful land that looked serene, and I could feel it, I could smell it. The temperature was perfect. The air smelled fresh, no chemicals, no pollutants. I was looking all around. And I was looking across water and I was seeing the mountains. Everywhere I looked, I was looking across water, mountains, mountains, water. And then I looked to my left and I saw a mountain. And then I looked down. And when I looked down, I looked into the water, which the water was crystal clear. Okay, so I looked into the water and I could see below the water were like docks, like boat docks that you would have, or the docks that some people put, if they don't have a boat, then people like will swim off of them or fish off of them. They were under the water. Then I saw upside down boats under the water just flowing away, but they weren't at the surface, they were underneath. And I saw these things happening, and I did see a body, and I was like, okay, why am I seeing this? And I was observing it, and I was observing it from a place of a non-judgmental space and place, but I also realized that I was like standing on the water myself. I was above the water, standing on it. And I looked around again and I looked directly across from me and I saw these beautiful green lush mountains. And then I looked up at the sun and it was white as can be. And it was like just, dancing, glistening and dancing and white like diamonds. And I was like, just feeling it all, taking it all in. And then I looked to my right and I saw more water, and where the water was coming from, it was just like flowing. And the feeling, believe it or not, was serene. It was beautiful. Everything was perfect. I could hear birds chirping. Um, the sun was dancing. The water was crystal clear, like it was clean. But what was going underneath the water, I observed it, but I did not think about anything while I was in the vision. I was only observing it. And so all of a sudden, I just got sucked out of the vision. I came back in my body and I was just like, and I was like, what was that about? At first, I was like, what was that? I knew it was a vision, but I didn't understand it. And it kind of scared me a little bit because I had two little children. And I was like, oh, what is this? I mean, is this something that's coming? It's going to happen? And I got out of bed and I went and tried to explain it to my ex-husband, and I told him exactly what I saw, and he goes, "Oh, you were just dreaming." And I said, "No, I wasn't dreaming. I was awake." I was awake. So over the time period, like the next few months, I kept meditating to try and see what was this dream about. And the only thing that I was given was that it was a 20-year countdown. Because I was so like, why the movie projector thing? I'm like, is this because it's all a movie? Is this, and it was 20 years. And the day it happened, I didn't even know until later in that day when I put the kids down for a nap. My husband at the time turned on the TV and the afternoon news was on. And he started yelling for me to come downstairs, look at the TV. And I went downstairs, and that was that huge, devastating tsunami that wiped out so much. So many people lost their lives. And he's like, "Is this what you saw?" And I did not see the destruction. What I saw was like beauty after destruction. So, but I could still see the destruction below the water from where I was viewing it. Um, so still, that gave me more things to worry. I was like worried because I had two babies. One just turned 3, and the other one was 4. Um, And I'm like, okay, just gonna breathe into this. Every day I would meditate on it, try to get more information. My guides were like, just get ready. And that's all they would say to me every day is just get ready, get ready. And I'm like, get ready for what? So today I knew that I had to put this video out. So I went and I pulled cards to see if there's anything else that I could be given with the cards. And I have some information, but I ended up just tuning in and allowing the automatic writing to happen, which is one of the things I've done for years, years and years and years. So I want to remind everyone that this is 2024. It is an 8 year, which things come to us in abundance. So if we look at this year and what's been happening so far this year, what's been coming to us in abundance, secrets, lies, all of the kind of things that need to come to the surface to reveal the truth and wake up more people have been happening this year. Next year, 2025, is a 9 year. Okay, I will get more to 2025, but the 9 year is the accumulation of everything from this previous 9 years that have been coming to the surface to be revealed. So it's like a cycle of events, and this distortion that humanity has been living in for thousands of years is coming to an end. So 2026 is a 1 year. That's new beginnings. So I will get more into those in a minute. Okay, so the 20 years, the water, the weather, and the floods, when I tuned in, we are going to continue this. I even said to, I've been talking to some of my sisters that I talk to on a daily basis of information I keep seeing and receiving. And I told them I am getting fire, I am getting more water, I am getting like the weather events. I've talked about this on my videos since I've started doing this. I continue to see this. I don't see it stopping yet. I don't see it stopping in 2025 either. And so I was like, well, then what is the 20-year countdown if I don't see this stopping? So there is going to be more water events. There is going to be fire. I keep seeing fire. And it's funny, I was telling the sisters, keep getting fire when I wake up in the morning. And the day that I had said that to them, I went and opened up my blinds and looked outside, and the whole sky was covered with smoke. And I'm like, oh, oh, okay. So here in Sedona, that is something that does happen. It's not here, it's like in surrounding areas. And sometimes they're ignited by different things. Anyways, this is what I keep getting. And this just isn't here in the US, this is all over the world. So it's continuing. And I have said over and over that Gaia knows exactly what to do. She knows exactly what to do to make the changes she needs to make. But she's also in this cycle where this Kali Yuga, I talked about this I actually did a Kali Yuga video years ago. Somewhere on my YouTube, it was old. But we're in the ending of that cycle where there is a grasp by opposing energy that wants to hold on to the game that's been played. The Gaia is saying no more. Mother Earth, she's saying no more. Humanity is her children. And those that are playing that game, she doesn't even want to claim them as her children. Let's put it that way. I have conversations with Gaia all the time. I'm very connected and tuned into Mother Gaia. Every morning, I connect with her, and she opens up and begins to talk to me. The same with the sun. So I'm looking at all of my, in case you're wondering what I'm looking at, this is my automatic writing that came through this morning that I'm going to share. So if you want to go pop some popcorn, go get something because we might be here for a little bit. Make a smoothie and come back and get ready to just buckle down with this information. So, the sun. So these are the things that I was given the cards, and when I got the card, I got 2 sun cards, and I tuned in because the sun has been bringing us codes now. I think it's 2017 when we were having the illumination of the sun, and it was really giving us a lot of codes back then, because that also is when my body was in a ton of pain. Okay, so I had that happening back in 2017, and it's been happening this year again. And each time the sun is delivering us codes through the geomagnetic storms, the solar flares, the flashing. It's giving us coding. It's sending information into the field for us to pick up. And that information comes in through our third eye. This is what I've always said, third eye, heart chakra, sacred heart, and our solar plexus. Our solar plexus is the inner sun. And we receive that. And those of us that do that anchoring, there will always be pillars of light that will anchor information that comes in. We will anchor it into the new earth. I call it the new earth 5th dimensional crystalline grid. We'll anchor it into the grid for those that are not awake to be able to receive the codes as they're on the earth with no shoes, however they're going to be on there. So the sun is illuminating, okay, it's giving us that information, but it's also illuminating that which has been hidden. So it is part of the great awakening, part of the great awakener. So it's helping with the awakening of humanity and illuminating, like I keep saying, the dark serves the light. So it's illuminating the areas where people aren't seeing, where the games have been played, where you've been manipulated into believing that you're living on this um, planet that's like how you're supposed to be living, and it's not. It can be for those that have come in to have that kind of experience, but the true experience was to come here for love, to learn how to utilize manipulating energy, to use it for your self to, and when I say manipulation, it's to work with it, to understand it, to create from it, but not to use it in the deceiving and manipulating way. That's what that opposing energy is doing. So this sun is illuminating, okay, everything that's been hidden, the secrets, the lies. It's all coming to the surface. You're seeing it. If you have any kind of connection to the outside world, if someone's telling you what's going on in the world, like I don't have TV, I don't have watch the news, none of that, but I do have people that will say, this just happened, that just happened, and they'll either send me a little video or, and I won't watch them all. I just like just by the title alone, it's enough. It's going to continue this year and into 2025. So the end of this year is the end of my countdown. December 2024 is the end of it. So I'm like, what's going on? So between now and then is like this great, like if you squeeze a tube of toothpaste and everything just like coming to the surface. It's almost like that. It's like this squeezing is happening, and it's for you to see the truth and humanity to like wake up. So this end of the year is more of the Great Awakening, but with more of the Great Awakening is more of that trying to put the cap on the toothpaste so the stuff doesn't come out. So funny, that's what they're giving me my third eye to say. So that's what I'm saying. So the floods, so I had two cards. This is interesting. I had a Kuan Yin card, which is so much about compassion. A lot of the stuff that's happening on the earth is about, humanity stepping into compassion in their community and serving humanity, your brothers and sisters, in that way. But I had two cards. I had Kuan Yin, who was standing on the water, which is exactly the way I was in my vision in 2004. And then I had the Krishna card, who was standing on the water. I'm like, okay, they're both standing on the water like I was then. What is that supposed to mean? So the floods, okay, they're connected to the past and to memories of the past and the emotions of the past that need to be revealed within yourself. But also, a lot of you have returned from lifetimes where there has been the great floods. And it's basically giving us that information to see that we can either wake up and change our ways, right? Like the man in the mirror, Michael Jackson song, remember that? And support each other, or you can stay hiding in the corner and continue to be they just said non-compliant with your true self. You gotta love when the guides say something. Non-compliant with the true self. So the floods, water represents emotions. Water is connected to that great planet Neptune, and some of you may remember when I channeled Neptune live, I think it was on Facebook years ago, and Neptune literally showed up in my apartments when I lived in an apartment and there was water on my carpet. I was like, what? Neptune had showed me back then that he was going to be, whatever you call it, he was an energy, but he came in looking like a masculine energy, really bringing in some changes on this planet. Venus always comes in for me as well. So do you choose love and embrace love in your fellow human, or do you continue to choose to serve yourself? This is what the end of these next few months is going to show. They're going to show you the people who serve themselves and who doesn't. Okay, so the next card I had was Earth and house and home. So this was about cleaning house and creating compassionate community. So not only cleaning, so Earth is cleaning house, Gaia is cleaning house. This is what I say all the time. She knows exactly what to do. She knows where there's areas of density, but also she's getting bombarded by opposing energies that want her land. Okay, so even though we may have these weather patterns that are happening that are real, there is, so I have to be careful. There is opposing energy that is using specific tools to shift the weather. Please know this came in from above, so it's not my personal opinion. I'm sharing all the information that's been given to me. That will shift the weather patterns to create what we see happening on the earth in some places because of greed. Okay. So not only is Gaia doing the things that she needs to do, but we need to cleanse ourselves. You need to cleanse, you need to, it's like feng shui your brain. So that you can be stepped forth in that compassionate action and have compassion for yourself as well. Because even if you're just waking up and you don't know what's been going on, it's okay. It's okay. Everybody's waking up at their own time. So don't be angry at yourself because you've called a lot of us like crazy that have been bringing this information for a long time, or you can call us tree huggers or whatever. But just know that we've been where you are, and we have compassion for you. So having faith, my guide said, having faith that the divine will bring the right people, not the ego people, but the ones who care. So what that was about is when these things are happening on the planet, like what we've just had here in the US, and it's happening everywhere in the world. There's floods happening everywhere. The divine will bring the right people. So the divine is going to, in compassion, open the hearts of the people that are the ones that are going to come and help each other. Because you're going to see the truth in these so-called savior programs that your money has been going to help you in this kind of crisis isn't there. The people aren't there, the money isn't there. Where to go? It's your money. So I have some other things to say about that, but it's going to be private on my Patreon with the stuff that I'm going to release on that video. That's going to be for my paid Patreon members only. If you're one of the people that are on the free, you got to be at least on the $5 because I am not going to give it out the other way. I can't. I have to be careful for myself. So in 2022, if you've watched me for a while, you'll remember the video where I said this 2 years ago, I was given these visions of land rising in the oceans. This was in 2022. Land rising in the oceans. I also saw possibly a dormant volcano coming up in the ocean, but also seeing a volcano in the ocean that starts going off. It could be close to land. I don't know. I only know the visions that they were giving me, but I saw this in 2022, and they're showing me more of this now. It's going to continue because what they're showing me is if Earth is tilted and land is flooded in other areas and it's not going to be able to come back to normal, it's going to stay flooded, then the other land needs to appear. It's a balance. So we will have, submerging land and emerging land. It has to, when you think about it, if stuff's going down, the other has to come up, right? It's going to happen. And I very much would love to see if the land is rising, because this was 2 years ago that I saw that vision. And it is on my YouTube. But there is big changes coming with that, new land coming. And that land isn't going to be livable for a long time. Okay, so it may be rising, but I just had this thing come forward. I pray that the greed is not going to try and claim it. That makes me want to cry. Because the first time I came to Sedona, I was sitting on Bell Rock and my cousin was with me, and she came over and she said, I was just talking to the Indians and they're mad that the white man has stolen their land. And Gaia said through me so loud, nobody owns the land. It's her body. And so my cousin was like, whoa, yeah. So she went back and sat back down and went back in meditation on that and spoke back to the Indians, but it's the truth. So let's continue this. Again, the weather is going to continue and the solar activations. I said a few videos ago, maybe it might have been one of the live ones I did, I'm continuing to see this sun throughout next year as well, doing its activations. They're calling it, my guides call it solar activations, is what they call it. I know they call it geomagnetic storms and they have all the fancy words for it, the scientific, but they're just calling it solar activations. And those solar activations, when they happen, they also are connected to the planetary system that also creates and corrects, they're saying it corrects spaces and places within the universe where shifts have to happen on the other planets as well. And so it also causes the effects on the Earth. So if these are all happening and triggering other things, and if you look at the astrologers, how they talk about the alignments and stuff, it's what they show me in my vision is how certain ones create some kind of, they're saying centrifugal force. I'm not a scientist, I don't understand those words. Centrifugal force that comes into the Earth, and Earth continues to shift. So what they just showed me is when that force comes in, it lifts something within the Earth, whether it's going to be an earthquake or a wave coming up or whatever, it's going to continue to happen because we are in that time and space and in the place in this reality where all of this needs to occur so that Gaia can have her body back. It's hers. It's not ours. She is our mother, and we had permission to come here, but not to treat her the way that we have and the way that they are. Okay. Okay, I'm going to read this automatic writing. Put my tea down. Let's just see. Just my eyes are closed. All right. Gaia is recreating herself, and she is now at the tail end of the creation. 2025, I believe it says, is the oh gosh, I wish I shouldn't have my eyes closed when I write this. 2025 is I think it says influence of landfall. Sorry about that. I cannot read that word. It ends with ANCE. So anyway, something of landfall, solar storms, and those with righteous egos to be seen for who they are. Okay, so masks will fall. So 2025 is going to be like the continuation of land falling, solar storms, on those with the righteous egos. It's going to create that to be seen more, for those people for who they are. Masks, okay, who's hiding behind a mask? The masks will fall, and more will become apparent. More will become apparent. I went over all this and rewrote on the top over the words so that I can so I can read it to you. So the something of greed surfaces with the floods. So it could be the truth of greed. So the floods, the devastations, it's going to bring forth more for you to see the greed that's out there, rather than a heart-based reality that Gaia is about. So those that are your leaders, they're really going to show their ugly heads. This is a lot what I was talking about in the October video. You will see who shows up and who does not. This will give opportunity for humanity to remember the truth. Give no power to others, as Gaia is more powerful than any illicit human. So if you know me, since I walked in, I don't understand a lot of these words that they use. So I went and looked up the word illicit, and I wrote down what it is. I'm like, what word is that? So illicit, the way they wanted to use it was unlawful. And when I got that, what Gaia said is it is unlawful to own Gaia. It is unlawful to own the earth. We didn't come here to own her. And this has been a place and space for other beings from other galaxies and universes and planets to try to come in and own her for their own greed. And in that, they're destroying her. And that is why all of this is happening. Okay? I'm going to read that again. This will give opportunity for humanity to remember the truth. Give no power to others, as Gaia is more powerful than any illicit human. Okay. Her body is not for sale, and neither should you be. Really feel that. That was so powerful. When I went back and read that, I have goosebumps. I have goosebumps all over me. Her body is not for sale, and neither should you be. Feel that. What does that mean? You're working at jobs and giving your energy away. You're being bought in a way. And basically, what they're saying is you're out there for sale to serve certain functions in a way that Earth was not meant for humans to be. So feel into that. Pay attention to your own emotions as you see and understand what is being revealed. Life is a choice and a gift to learn from this grand shift for humanity's evolution. You came back here for this. You came back to assist with and in this grand shift for humanity's evolution. And in this, your inspiration comes from the fact that you came to liberate yourself. And in that liberation, you're also liberating Gaia from this, from what's been done to her. Okay? You're a piece to this puzzle is what I keep saying. Everyone is a piece to puzzle, and nobody's job is better than the next, ever. So remember that. You're very important. You need to be here, and you need to remember why. You came back to help with this. So don't give your power away. This is where the creation of unity and community is really going to come in strong the rest of 2024 and all 2025 and moving into 2026. Okay. Will you allow yourself to feel the truth and hold respect for yourself and your fellow human, your fellow brothers and sisters? Will you allow yourself, I don't know why my thing keeps flashing, to feel the truth and hold respect for yourself and fellow humans. So just like I was talking about in the October videos where I was saying, don't back down. Don't give in to the game. Don't give in to the program anymore. You are worth more than that, okay? So, the light workers, you're being pushed. I saw some messages. I've seen some messages on my videos where people are saying, I'm so tired of this. When is it going to end? I'm giving up. When is it going to end? When is this going to stop? Things seem to be getting worse. But please remember, the only reason that's happening is because the 3D, they're pushing to hold on to the 3D on the earth. But you're already in a fifth dimensional consciousness you're tapped into. You're living in 4D and you're tapped into that fifth dimensional consciousness where your higher self knows this isn't how it's supposed to be. So don't give up. That's what they want you to do. They want you to fall into that trap. They want you to be in fear. They want you to be in the, this isn't going to work, okay? The whole reason it's happening is because it is working and you've been holding the light. You've been doing the things you came here to do. People have been waking up en masse. And it's going to continue. Because again, that dark is serving the light. Every time something is done that's really dark, it sheds the light on it. And you go, whoa, 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 what is happening here? I don't like that. So, light workers, hold your frequency. I keep saying this over and over. Hold your frequency as much as possible. Okay? I know that the outcome is liberation, love, and peace. And we do this through compassion, compassionate action. Okay, I've got some final things here. 2025, the final surge, as my guides are calling it, because that's the 9th year and it's the end of a cycle of all the accumulated, the 9 years that this has been. This, what was 9 years ago? 2015? I don't know. I have math. Okay, wait. I have a pen. Yeah, 2015. There was a big awakening in 2015, a big awakening in 2017, then one in 2020, one in 2022. There's one happening now. It's like every couple of years there's these surges, but everything that's been happening. So this is like the ending of a cycle from 2015 to 2024, and the end of this year will be intense. It's going to feel intense. So this is why I wanted to do this, because the 20-year countdown was the end of the intensity. Okay? It's like the buildup of and also more weather things, more floods, more earthquakes, fires. Next year, there's going to be some too. I don't know if it's going to be intense. I'm really not feeling that. So that's what I have. So 2026, I have I'm really seeing the golden light in 2026. There's a lot of us that have been working with golden light for a while. As we are we're bringing back the golden age. There is a stage in between Kali Yuga. So I'm like, are we skipping that stage to go to the golden age? What's going on? But I see the golden doors beginning to open and golden light coming in. When they showed me these doors starting to open for 2025, but we're not done yet. And when I'm seeing that, that means that there's this like, here's the opposing energy and here's the light. And so now that we have this many people here, the doors are beginning to open. So as much as they're going to try to hold on, it's not going to happen. So the split already started happening on the earth a while ago. Okay, it started 2020 was a big part of that split. You had the people choosing certain ways of things, and then the people that chose their thing, and that was a big split. But these splits keep happening because something is going to continue to keep happening that's going to create the split even more. And the earth is constantly shifting all the time, so you have that earth, that earth, that earth, that earth. It just depends on where you're going to hold yourself in your consciousness. Which earth do you want to be on? Are you going to go for what I believe, what I saw in that vision was me standing on the water, looking at the old earth below it, and I had chosen to be on the new earth. That's what I feel that vision was, and it is happening. And we are going to have, and we continue to have this choice. You have the choice. Which way are you going to go? What are you going to choose? There's going to be, yes, more technology that's going to come in because they've shown me that. But what I'm going to say is be very careful how you choose to use it. Um, do you want to live where you were just, it was so, I remember being a kid. There was no technology like that, and there was so much freedom in every day. You know, you were outside, you weren't on the phone all day, you weren't on a computer, you weren't on a laptop, you weren't on an iPad. Your kids weren't stuck to something. They were playing, they were swimming, they were out on Gaia, they were in the sun. They were getting that nourishment that they need. And so were the parents, so were the adults. So 2026 is a year of new beginnings, and that's where I see those doors opening even more. Don't give up. The end of 2024 is, it may look more destructive. I see more water coming. I see the weather things happening. I see weather patterns shifting as well. I'm not sure what that's from. It could be from the planetary systems. Again, I am not an astrologer, so I don't read that. I just tell you what I receive. They're calling it weather anomalies. I'm sorry, my guides just called it weather anomalies. They're part of Gaia's inner core, as well as the planetary lineup that is creating future events that will allow humanity to not destroy itself. Wow. That's a powerful message. Wow, that was powerful. So, with all this said, it's not to scare you, but to prepare you and to hold your frequency and hold your light, because light's risen. Here's the opposing, and here's the light. Okay? So know that the only reason the things are still happening and might seem more chaotic and more hectic and more like on the body, for those of us that are feeling this on the body, it's because we've been doing the work, and we have to continue to do this work and not give up. Of course, it's your choice, so always take what resonates and leave the rest behind. The other thing I want to say is, because I channel this information, we have to remember that we live in a quantum reality. There is a quantum field. Each of you have a quantum field around you, but we are living in a quantum reality where the quantum reality, the timeline can shift and change at any time. So we could be channeling or reading that quantum reality in that moment. And then because the light workers are doing all this work to shift the reality, let's say a hurricane's coming and we don't want it to hit. If enough light workers get together and start using their energy, this is what I call about learning how to use energy, use their energy to push that hurricane back out into the ocean, to push that tornado into the ocean. We've got this. It's just up to you to do it. That's the unity. That's how we come together as one big energy in the light. And we can do this. And it is happening already. So keep going with what you're doing. Don't give up. It is about compassionate action. And that comes from love. Hang in there as we end this year. You've come this far, okay? You've come this far. You can get through this and you can get through 2025. I know people are asking me about the presidential election, and every year I always know who's going to win. I do have information on that, and I will put it on my Patreon. I'm not going to put it here. All I can say, I will say one thing is that all they're delivering to me is normally they show me in my third eye who it is that wins. This time I'm getting a blank slate. Could mean many things. So I'll give more detail on there. And that's it. So it's time for change on this planet. It's time for everything to be reconstructed anew and in higher vibration and a higher frequency for humanity and for Gaia. So if things are being taken down in a way so that we can start things new, then hurrah. Fantastic. But let's do it in love, not ego. I love you all. And hang in there. We're riding this out together. Okay? I will be doing activations throughout the next coming months to help everyone get through this. So make sure that you're subscribed and hit that all thing. There's a little bell where you got to go and hit all, otherwise you're not going to know if I'm live doing the activations. You're not going to know if I put on a video. But I will be here to help support, and because it is part of my job. I love you. Many blessings. Kirosh namana anaki shantura maya at. Eternal love, eternal light, eternal life. Maya kita, maya at. Many blessings.
Una, hoi. Shai.